got this
study.
funny
That's all.
fader thing on it now.
Oh no, I think I
That's
turned
all right.
on
You know,
with
autographs
that
from
little
your
button
classmates.
next
This is
to
grade
the
school
focus
stuff.
button.
Yeah.
I think I pushed that by accident, and then it did this
Yeah.
fade. That's like little squares.
Yeah, before it was just
Citizenship.
uniform. And now it's
I
doing
didn't keep this
The
up too
squares.
well. Parties, interested
Roll it.
at this
You know,
point
To
in
the
time.
Tigers.
Yeah, I guess that's close.
Nice
One of the
things.
problems I was having.
Nice hat.
yesterday-
You must look pretty good in that.
Oh yeah, they're all.
Al
that-
Negro.
Yeah, Nigro.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was-
so-
he became a
oh,
physician.
Yeah, that's a CCD artifact sometimes.
Well, Border Star was the grade school I went to.
Mm.
Dramatics, it's just sort of done stuff. That's June Kiger. That's June Kiger Green. That's my Dr. Fred Kiger's older daughter.
Oh, okay.
You know, her son is the one who was Colin Powell's lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, you know, we need two cameras
I
for
heard,
this.
I heard the Colin Powell. Oh, you were
Yeah.
not in the room.
Yeah, Fred Kiger Green,
Really?
who lives not too far from here, half a
Wow,
mile or
then you
so.
can edit on.
Was very big in ROTC and high school and college, and
Yeah.
he went into, where did he go? I think he went to KU. And then became a lawyer,
Hi.
and he was in the ROTC all the way through high school and college. Anyway, he was in the military full time for a number of years, and he was, as I say, the current vice president of the U.S. as a lawyer
We gotta make copies.
in those years.
Wow.
Do I know where I'm going?
I have no idea.
Do I know where I'm going?
You're going back to the hotel. It's at Kinko's on 47.
Oh, 47. Okay, I got it. Okay. Gotcha.
Well, this is grade school stuff.
See you soon. Thank
Bye.
you. I guess you
Virginia
can just
Tigers.
have one.
This is you.
2 copies, right? One for us and one for Nora. And then we'll make copies for Betsy at some point.
What does it say? It
Unless
says
you
it's
wanna
an
make-
invitation to
Unless you want to make
Barbara and Pamela's party, a couple
Great.
of classmates, yeah.
Great.
Barbara
Nut
bring
Or
her.
you,
This
me,
is
and
great.
I'll
You
send one to
saved
Betsy.
everything.
Whatever
Candy
seems
holder.
to make
These-
most sense.
Thanks, I love this.
God, where all did you find this? In the front study?
Yep.
In a
Got the
covered-
napkins.
Oh, yeah.
Napkin
yours?
party.
Now, those look kind of cute.
Yeah.
Tally.
Tally.
Oh, we played a lot of bridge. Oh my God. We had a group of 4 that beginning in, actually in 3rd grade, played bridge every Wednesday afternoon.
That was
All
cool.
the way through
In
grade school.
3rd grade?
3rd grade.
Wow.
Third grade?
Third grade. I mean, my mother, well, they were my cousin Charlie Matthews Jr. and my brother had been invited to a bridge party their freshman year of high school. So my parents were very busy teaching them bridge, and so I watched and I learned too.
Wow.
So, as I said, beginning in 3rd or 4th grade, we had a foursome that
Oh
played
my
bridge.
gosh,
And
I'm
listen,
so
all the rest of the way through
impressed.
grade school, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th grade, we played bridge every Wednesday
That would
afternoon.
have really
And
developed my
listen,
character.
in the back study, you look up on a shelf high up, and you'll see a lot of China dogs. That was a prize. I mean, our mothers, and those things are priceless now. They're porcelain, and they're just gorgeous. And all of
So the
us,
winner would get.
the winner would get this a China dog, and all of us, of course, ended up with a perfectly beautiful collection.
That
But
is
this was
such
third,
a great idea.
3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade that we did this
I
time.
wouldn't have thought 3rd graders.
Well, you see, we learned when my cousin and my brother, 6 years older, they were freshmen in high school, and so I learned at the same time.
Wow.
And the other two gals
Of course,
had,
bridge was less complicated then. Now
Yes,
they
it
have
was-
a million.
yeah, it was
different-
auction. It was fairly easy. That's very true, and I liked auction.
Yeah, I like the simple. I mean,
I
not that
like
I really
these
know.
autographs.
Were
These
they in
people had
rhyme?
these
A
people
lot
had
of them are,
great
aren't they?
handwriting too. Remember me on the ocean, remember me on the lake, remember me on your wedding day, and send me a piece of cake. From
And,
Sarah Daphne Lizard or something.
I think it was Tizard.
Oh, yeah, Tizard.
Uh-huh.
And I thought in vain. At last, I thought I'd sign my name.
Alice.
Neon.
Well, now Alice has been one of my. Alice died a few years ago, but she was more or less my best friend for years and years and years.
I
And years.
love this. I love you little. I love you big. I love you like a little pig. Timmy.
That's my kind of
Well,
poetry.
that's Timmy Monsies McDonald. Her father was the principal of the high school.
Okay, I like
Sherman
to be
Platt.
crazy. I like to clown, but just be crazy. I'll write.
My name, but it's not that. I'll write something down.
It's hard to say what that.
Sherman was my date for junior prom at Wellesley, and I went to, he was at Williams College in Massachusetts when I was at Wellesley. Yeah.
Okay, blessed are those who sit on attack, for they shall rise again.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I haven't heard from Sherman for a couple of years. I ought to write and see if he's still alive.
That sounds familiar. Bad ink, bad pen, bad writer. Amen. Mary Ellen Simon.
Okay.
That's great.
What's this? It must be a graduation thing.
Yeah.
From grade school. That's the year I
1931.
graduated from grade school. Yeah. Border Star. Yeah. Gee, we had a lot, didn't we, in the
Okay.
class? Boys and girls.
Yeah.
Got an even number. Now that's amazing. One more boy than girl.
That's right.
Hmm.
You got the ticket and everything. Did you have to make a speech? Were you valedictorian?
I did make a speech, yes.
That's
You
pretty
certainly
grown-up
did.
handwriting for grade school.
Well, I think most people's handwriting deteriorated.
Yeah.
But my
I mean,
goodness,
you-
I mean, we were printing in grade school.
Well,
Eighth grade.
in
Oh,
first and
yeah,
second
third
grade.
grade I learned
Third grade, you
script.
began, you know that the only new thing they learn in third grade now is cursive writing? I've checked with
Only
each
new
of my
thing they
grandchildren.
learn?
Yeah, I mean, they may go a little bit longer in math, but they don't get into real long division or anything like
Well,
that.
I learned cursive in third grade,
They still learn cursive in third grade.
but I had a pen with an inkwell.
Well, sure, yeah. Oh, I suppose they
You
have.
did?
I did.
Suppose they have ballpoint pens now, but only new thing they
Or
learn in third grade.
pencils.
I've checked with each grandchild.
Wow.
Here's a piano recital. Were you on the?
Oh, probably I was. I couldn't play the piano worth a hoot. I had no. I mean, you could strike a note on the piano, and I couldn't tell you within 15 notes what you struck. Absolutely no musical ability,
Really? Interesting.
whatever.
Darl and Fred.
Yeah.
This is your
A couple of classmates.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't
great pants.
Yeah. Knickers were in
So that
style.
was grade school. Look at them.
Yeah.
They're young.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
kids.
They look old from this.
Yes, because we had only 7 grades. When I got to Wellesley, I was a year younger than almost everybody else in my class, because all the rest of the world had 8 grades.
They're 8th grade.
And 4 years of high school. We had 7 grades
And
in
4
Kansas
years
City,
of high
and 4 years of high school.
Interesting.
So I graduated at 16, and you know, everybody else had graduated at 17. Time they got to college, they might be 18. I was barely 17.
Alice.
So impressive.
There's Sherman.
So far away.
There's Allie. Who signed your book? Oh no, that's Bill.
Bill and Sherman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob Tucker and Gene Cormany. Gosh, I remember their names.
I
My
know.
Well, that was
long-term-
really good.
My long-term memory's great.
Yeah.
Ellen Cotton, Ellen Hookey, and Emily Crouch. How about that? Timmy McDonald. She was a good friend for a long time. Her father was principal of the high school. This is in our backyard on 63rd. Neighborhood kids.
Oh, it's a great pictures.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed she has such a neat scrapbook with all
I
these great
enjoy this
things in it.
scrapbook very much. Okay, here's another scrapbook. Oops. What's this? Does this look familiar?
What's it say?
East wins title, Southwest High loses battle for Interscholastic League.
That's sad. That's a sad article.
Issue decided on the pass. It is sad.
Looks like I had that turned over. Doesn't
It
it?
was down here.
Yeah. Or whatever. I'll hold on to it while you turn the page so I don't mess it up.
Oh, here.
Oh, then,
There's
you know,
a
I was,
tiger. Oh, no,
Frank
Lynch.
Lynch.
Frank Lynch,
So
yeah.
I'm looking upside
no,
down.
there's never anybody in my family that lettered in a sport, except John and David both lettered in fencing at Wells
Really?
at Princeton, yeah.
You're kidding, both of them.
Uh-huh.
That's not an easy sport.
True, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
They had a great coach.
Where it's-
I mean, he was just such a superman. And so it turned out to be a very good experience for both of them.
You're a big sports fan.
Oh, I always was. I mean, I spent all Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon watching golf on television from about 2 until 6.
Mm-hmm.
We know all about that, don't we, Nora?
Yeah, we
I told
do.
Ginny that Dad used to call about his busy weekends and how he didn't know how he was going to fit it all in with the men's golf and the women's golf
Right.
and then the tennis.
I understand.
Exactly.
He would tape on one TV, watch
Yeah.
the other TV,
Yeah.
then watch the tape.
Yeah, I understand.
Who's this?
Oh, gosh. That looks like Robert Taylor.
He is.
Yeah, Bob Taylor. Watching in Times Square Lady and West Point of the Air.
So he was just a movie star you had a crush on.
Oh, gosh, I think any and all of them probably, yeah. Gene Harlow, of course, was from Kansas City.
Hey, Gallery of Romance.
Wherever that was, in the next page, I think, isn't it? Flip a page over. No, it doesn't
No,
seem
it was
along there.
right
Let's put
there.
it
Yeah,
here.
what was there with, yeah.
Okay. What are we doing here?
We've got a couple of sort of movie star types.
There we are, okay, whatever. Geez, I haven't looked at these scrapbooks for
This
thousands.
is all football. This is all football.
Well, we didn't have a lot of sport. We had football and basketball. Did not have baseball as a sport
Uh-huh.
in high school. Track, you had football, basketball, and track. And I attended every football game, every
can tell.
basketball game, and every track
And
game.
you cut out the article on it too.
The next day, yeah, right.
Now, were other people in your family as big of sports?
Oh,
as
yeah, I mean,
you?
I think so. I think that all of us, I mean, Kathy was a cheerleader, which meant
Right.
that she was at every sporting event in high
But
school.
what about like
Like
your brother
your
and
brother
your
and your
parents?
parents, yeah.
Well, I don't think, well, yeah, my mother was not the least bit interested in any sport, but Dad watched a lot he went to the games with us through high school, and he watched. And
Did your
later-
brother play a sport?
My brother lettered, I think, in track at high school. I'm trying to think. My brother went to the University of Missouri and then Pennsylvania. I don't think he was. He may. Well, he would put when he was at Penn in med school. He would put on track shorts and a shirt and get into the football, get into the games free. Run in with the team, so to speak. But that's the only,
Now your brother was Ross Jr.?
yes, and he
Okay.
was 6 years older than I.
And he had a son?
Yeah, he had 3 children. Ross Jr., who is a physician living in Houston.
Ross
Very-
the third?
Ross the third, very sad, and he has a son, Ross the fourth, who's still, he's probably about 12 or 13 now. Just the one child. Lives down in Houston, and taught, I think, at one of the medical schools in Houston. And then Marshall, from whom I recently had a note, because Marshall lived out in California and was a businessman. He got probably got a master's in business somewhere. He went to, did I tell you where Ross Jr. went for
Houston?
medicine?
Oh, no.
The
Oh, Penn.
University of Pennsylvania, right, and lives in the Houston or a suburb thereof, and married a lovely gal, a darling gal, and probably one of the wealthiest gals in Texas, which is saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she's
Good
just very
choice.
modest about the whole thing, and they have, I guess, just the one youngster, Ross Trey, and. Marshall, I had a card or something that's lying around here somewhere. I better find, probably on the kitchen table. Maybe on my desk. Anyway, he and his wife have recently moved. They've been in California forever, to New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't I come across that letter on the kitchen table or something like that?
No.
Hopefully I can find it.
Are you going to New Orleans tomorrow? Where are you going?
Shreveport.
Shreveport.
You scared me for a second. But they are both in Louisiana. I think
Yeah.
of them as so different.
This whole thing is, I guess, just probably like this. I was just, a hero worshiper.
Yeah.
And my heroes were sports
Sports
people.
people, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, well, we can, if it's all that, we can move on.
Let's see. Well,
Yeah.
pretty much,
It's all the
yeah,
same,
it's all
yeah.
sports.
This whole thing is
Wow.
sports, yeah.
Well,
What's
here's,
the date?
here's Kansas City 10th
Nineteen
annual
ninety-three, 1933.
National Oratorical Contest on the
Oh, okay,
Constitution.
we had a fantastic speech teacher, and we had, young men, they were always the only men, win the national, this thing, for several years in a row. It was amazing. I took expression, which is what you took in ninth grade, and then took speech from her in I think my sophomore and junior year. And I won my freshman year at Wellesley, I got a big problem. Every time they had an honor assembly, they mentioned that Virginia Calkins had won the extemporaneous speech contest.
Well,
Virginia
that's
Kiter.
exciting.
Oh.
Kiter, yeah. She was good. She was good. Actually, now there was an editorial in. Actually, I've cut it out in this line on the couch somewhere, I think. This high school had more Rhodes Scholars than you could imagine as the years, as they grew older and so forth. Went to, Stanford, Wellesley, Smith, Harvard, whatever. We had fantastic. This is a public high school. We had absolutely fantastic teachers, and they demanded a lot of us. I know when I got to Wellesley, one of the English teachers complimented me on some kind of an essay you had to write as part of your admission thing, and the math teacher was impressed with my math ability, and so on down the line. And these were just superb high school teachers. In some place, I think over there in that stack of stuff, there was an article in the paper probably 2 or 3 months ago by a graduate of the high school commenting on the fact that Southwest High School has recently been closed. When busing came to Kansas City, the whole public school system fell apart. Of course, Southwest had been exclusively white and had all the best teachers and so forth and so on. And then they began busing in the black. Well, Southwest is closed now. They're just,
that's
no more
really
whites went.
sad.
The whites quit going. Of course, Missouri was a southern slave state.
Yeah.
And that's still there. Kansas was free.
Unbelievable.
But the Southwest is closed now.
Wow, that is sad.
Of course, John and my kids all went to Kansas schools because we moved over into Kansas at just before Christmas of my senior year of high school. And it was interesting because our address was Kansas City, Missouri. There was not a lot here, and our mail came from the same post office where we lived on 63rd. So I had a Missouri address. It was 2124 West 69th Street, but it was Kansas City, Missouri, and I don't think we even had zip codes in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, more?
Yeah, 2 more.
Okay, do we know what's in this one?
No.
Okay. So let's see.
Any dates?
Letters from Dr. W.E. something, overseas, 1945. Rappel?
No,
Rap?
I think it's just rap.
Yeah.
And what's the date?
1945.
April 8th.
This is France, April 8th, 1945, to Dr. Calkins.
Oh, right. He was one of Roy's residents, and I guess after he finished his residency, he had an overseas assignment. And gosh, I wonder where he is. Kept in touch for quite a while. He was well, he was extremely interesting, and he was very good at writing. He should have had a career in literature as a writer. But,
That's interesting.
what is the date on this?
April
April
8th,
8th.
1945.
Oh, that's just before the war ended.
Right, or he's talking about
And where was he? Well, you don't know.
France.
Oh, okay,
France.
okay.
That's interesting. Letters from Mother, February 46. This is from Roy's mom.
Uh-huh. And this is not,
That is from Mother, dear son Leroy.
oh, letter from ARCH, and I have no idea who ARCH is.
Art.
Absolutely no idea. If I read it,
So
I'll
is
be able
this
to find it out.
is this a Roy scrapbook, you think?
No, no, he would never have a scrapbook. Last thing in the world would interest him.
Dear
There's the
son
mother.
Leroy. Buford Hamilton.
Buford Hamilton was a physician here in town in obstetrics and gynecology.
Okay, so it's a Christmas card. Katie, August 1946. Dr. Pat. Pat Wu, Hong Kong, 1947.
Jeez.
To Dr. Calkins.
Wow.
Katie. Well, this is a letter from Katie, I guess.
Yeah,
Dear
August
Doctor,
1946.
I can't imagine, these were obviously students of his that are now in military service.
Mm-hmm.
Probably people I knew. I'm trying to
These
think,
are all the-
when did I go to work over there? 1942, I
First.
think. I was there from 42 to 47.
Mother, first birth by older woman, held no cause for undue fear.
This
Wonder
is the
what
chairman's
order
address
those
section on
things.
OB-GYN at the AMA. Okay.
This is from Charlie, somebody's.
Stick, Charlie Stick. He was, yeah, he had been a student when I was working there. He was, then he became a resident, and then I think he settled in Seattle to practice.
Okay.
Roy had a whole bunch of these former students that went to Seattle. Many of whom I later visited. Alexander Sinclair, he was Roy's age, another OB-GYN in Kansas City.
John Savage.
Don't remember John Savage.
You saved a picture of Mary Jo Moore, who married Dr. Anderson.
And I don't know her or him. Jeez.
Nick Carter.
Now, Nick Carter, I remember. He was down at North
That's
Carolina,
interesting.
the University of North Carolina. Not necessarily University of North Carolina. What's the other one down there? Duke. No, he was at Duke. Great guy, great guy.
Arlington
Arlington
Hotel
Hotel
and
in-
Baths. I
Yeah,
like this
in
old
Arkansas.
stationery.
Yeah,
Here's Joe Miggs, Vincent Memorial Hospital,
yeah.
Boston.
This is almost more Roy's album than mine.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Because these are all OB-GYN guys. John would be interested in this. I don't think he's ever seen it.
And Harry Dreer.
Yeah, he was my age.
Is this Roy?
Yeah.
Yes, OB Department stresses
Oh.
fundamentals.
Here are his one and only set of triplets.
Oh my goodness. Triplets?
He delivered.
He delivered triplets.
Oh,
He delivered
yes.
triplets, yes. And I don't know if John ever has or not.
Well, they came out good. Look
Yeah,
how healthy they are.
they made a fortune in advertising.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They were so
Oh,
photogenic.
They
Yeah,
don't-
they're really
they
cute.
Don't look like identical twins.
Well, I think they were.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they really were. But, yeah.
Dad.
Boy, when he found out that she was gonna have 3 kids, he got to the hospital administrator and said, I need 3 incubators tomorrow.
Wow.
And they had to ship all over the country,
Oh
almost,
my God.
and got the incubators there before the kids were born.
So who's Jim and Roberta?
I think that's Larry's son and his wife. I mean, Roy's son and his wife. Yeah, dear Dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I assume he's deceased?
I don't think, my mind's not telling me.
Okay.
Now Larry, because Larry, he had 2 sons, and Larry lived here, and Larry, thank God for Larry, I can see. Jim moved down to Arizona, and the last time I saw Jim was when Larry died.
Wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah, he came for the last time I've heard anything about him. I wonder John might be able to track him down, and I'll ask John if he's had any or knows anyone who's had any contact with Jim.
That's sad. They didn't stay in touch.
Well, they weren't very happy about their dad's marriage to me.
Mm.
I wondered about that.
Yeah. So.
Did Roy leave his wife for you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's hard.
So, now Larry in his later years seemed to be all right about it. But of course, Jim didn't live here.
Well, and you and Larry were friends already.
That's right,
That
that's
probably
right, yeah,
helped.
absolutely. Red Cross campaign and all his.
There's Roberta again.
Uh-huh. Yes. There we go.
It just makes me wish I'd kept my scrapbooks. I mean, I had a few, but they got destroyed in the flood and.
I have one.
Still.
He praises mother.
What and who are these?
Father Knapp,
Okay, that was a cousin.
faculty post at St. Louis University for college president.
Well, he later moved up to Kansas City and was president of our local Jesuit college. And we saw a lot of him.
Is this from Kathy to you? Yeah. From Mother to-
Uh-huh.
Looks like it. Okay, one
That's
more.
the end of the-
Short one.
of that one, yeah.
I should revive that one.
Really? You've got lots of pages
Got
left.
lots of pages left, yeah. That that was in my college room. These were my best friends, of course. I wonder how many, well, Verge is still living, she lives in Montreal, and I think that's it. No, Mary Bennett's still living, Mary Bennett is in the Philadelphia area. And that's me, that's Fran, she's my roommate, Marie's dead, Cherry's dead. But Verge and Mary and I are still living. Okay. I ought to take this and have it photocopied and send it to them.
Yeah,
They'd be surprised.
you got a scholarship. Ooh,
Faster.
and $500, but you didn't go.
I didn't go. I got a similar one to Wellesley, and there was such an active Wellesley Club here in Kansas City, and I had friends in the class that was 2 years ahead of me.
Miss Everett,
Emily. My first name's
your
Emily.
first name's Emily.
My first name is Emily. Yeah.
Well, you know, we could have been here for 2 days and not known that. Wow.
I mean, you didn't know it was E. Virginia.
No.
No, you didn't? I mean,
No.
I think everywhere I signed it. Yeah, it's Emily, Virginia. I had one of my mother's favorite aunts. My grandmother's sister was Aunt M. Her name was Emily, and I was
On your mom's side.
on my mom's side, and
You were.
I was named after her, Emily, Virginia. And she was called Emily, and I kept the initial, but I was never called Emily. But then Kathy named her older daughter Emily.
Well, you
My
got the
oldest granddaughter is
Oh,
Emily.
nice.
highest average
She's Emily
grade.
Kiger, Emily Kiger Horn, but now she's Emily Kiger
Yeah.
Horn, whatever Damon's last name is.
Kathy's
Daughter.
yeah, she just got married.
You got the highest score, highest average grade of all applicants from Wellesley from the Middle West.
I did?
Yep,
Good for me.
congratulations.
Good for you.
And you won a $500 competitive scholarship.
Yes, I did.
My dear Miss
The
Kaiser.
Kansas City Wellesley Club gave a scholarship every year, but they wouldn't consider me because we had just moved into our house that you saw out there
Oh, my
facing the
gosh,
golf
you're
course.
kidding.
So they figured that my father could afford to send me to Wellesley.
Ah.
But I got this more national one, which was nice.
I wonder how much
Because-
Wellesley cost in 1938.
Probably $1,500.
So 500 was a big chunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's great. This looks like this is all college.
It's very organized, so
You're
it's probably all college, right? I didn't mix and match things.
Well, this is somebody who wrote and offered to be my chaperone so that I could sign out and take overnights and stay at her house.
So, okay, that's Ross, that's your dad. Okay. Oh, and so this is where he worked, this Sewell Paint.
Sewell Paint and Varnish Company,
Varnish
uh-huh,
Company,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Then he retired from there and he was bored to tears. And another company, Seidlitz Paint and Varnish Company,
Yeah, this looks good. It's
Call-
drawing.
oh,
Kiger.
Oh, I was,
Artists, you all
oh,
smoke and it looks like,
I must tell you this, this was the funniest thing. I did not smoke. I never have smoked.
Uh,
But my roommate smoked.
eh,
My roommate smoked. And the first year we were in this wooden dorm and you could not smoke in your room. You could smoke certain hours in the living room on the first floor. Well, it was semester time for exams. And I was in bed asleep and my roommate and best friend who lived across the hall came into the room. They had been studying for a history exam and they were sleepy. So they opened the window and leaned out the window and smoked a cigarette. And I said, aren't you going to offer me one? And then the word got, this is very interesting, the word got around that freshmen were smoking in their dorms, in these wooden dorms. And they were asked, of course, the double duty of a Wellesley student, is, I'm quoting, is to report herself and anyone else that
Yeah,
she sees.
Sweetbriar had the same
Yeah,
thing.
just disobeying the rules. So, everybody in this dorm, freshman dorm down in the village, made a pact that they were not going to report themselves, and they didn't. But the three of us traipsed up to the Justice Department, it wasn't called that, and reported ourselves, for which we got 6 weeks of social probation.
wow.
Which meant that we could not be out after 9 o'clock. And so anyway, as we were leaving the room, the college president, and this was her last year, Press Penn, said, as we were walking out there, he said, aren't they sweet girls?
Aw,
But we had 6 weeks of social probation.
jeez. Inter-frat dance with your drink. I'd get a bottle of whiskey for $4.50.
Not that cheap, really.
No, I just was thinking the same through.
Though you can get a martini for 25 cents. That sounds better.
Oh my goodness gracious. Got caught, whatever. What are all these things? Putzi welcomes me to CG. Oh, that was the name of the president of college government. CG being college government.
Songs for hazing day. Were you in a sorority?
No, but
Freshmen got hazed
freshmen,
anyway.
Freshmen
yeah,
got hazed?
yeah, just one
No,
day sort of
hazing.
thing.
It'll be a hot time in the old time at night tonight. Hot time in the old town.
I've heard that song. Reception of Barn Swallows. Barn Swallows was the drama association, or whatever. Is this all my freshman year? It looks like freshman
It's
year
only a
stuff.
lot of,
This has to be freshman year, because was that smoking incident. Whatever.
Dartmouth versus Harvard. Freshman's, yeah, this is freshman serenade. Whoops.
Yeah, it's all right.
Wow, I can't believe this tape has held so long.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Look at this envelope.
What a nickel.
Oh, it's a fake envelope.
God, can't believe I kept all this stuff. But I
Very
did.
Impressive.
Yeah. I bet you none of my kids have ever looked at it.
They don't know what they're
Tibbet.
missing.
Tibbet was there, Lawrence Tibbet. We had a great concert series with us. Our Christmas dance. Date Krebs, George Krebs. George was at MIT when I was at
Aunt
Wellesley.
Louise, is that what that says? Aunt Louise?
Uh-huh. Go to theater with Aunt Louise.
Oh,
All right.
good catch, Mayor. We're
Tibbet.
gonna miss it.
Lawrence Tibbet. Well, now that sounds as though it were at Wellesley. What would...
Maybe did she come up and take you out?
And then so Lawrence Tibbet signed it, so it's an autograph.
No, yeah, how about that?
Maybe this is
Yeah, this is the
This
thing at
is-
Wellesley, yeah.
what you went to with Aunt Louise.
No, I think I went to this with Aunt Louise.
Maybe she
Okay.
took.
You know, because this was, had been in New York, I
Oh,
did.
this is-
No,
They all
it was at
say
Wellesley.
Wellesley.
It was at Wellesley, well, that's interesting. Well, she may have been up at MIT, or whatever.
Yeah, maybe she came up to see Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
I assume you heard that she only called Dad's son his whole life.
Yeah, do you know anything about that?
Didn't I tell you that? Or did somebody else
I'm
tell you?
not
No,
that?
sure.
Dad told us that Dad didn't have a name till he was 5.
Now that I didn't know.
5 or 6.
But I think the last time well, it can't have been the last time. Anyway, she said to me, quoting, that when he was born, Uncle John said, "What shall we name him?" And she said, "You may name him anything you want, but I will always call him Sonny."
Yeah, I think you told me that last year on the phone. And I have his baby cup that's inscribed
Right,
son.
son.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Uncle John decided just to give up on the whole subject then and like wait till later to name
Especially
him.
since it wasn't his kid, right?
Yeah.
Does that need to be folded in, the Wellesley thing? It looks like it's,
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right. But what I don't know is when he, when he realized that it wasn't his son.
it was when he heard
Oh.
a tape recording.
Well, when-
Oh, you mean,
Well, by that,
I mean,
well,
Uncle John, yeah.
well, except if they never slept together, he probably realized right away.
I don't know that they never slept
That
together.
was your mom's guess?
No, it
Ginny
was,
was just wondering.
I mean, in my lifetime, they never slept, anytime that I saw them from being.
Of course, having separate bedrooms, was that
that more
unusual
normal?
in those days?
I don't think that was usual at all.
Really?
I don't think that was
I
usual.
suppose twin beds was more common than separate bedrooms.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, the house in Brooklyn and the house in Madison, they had separate bedrooms. Now Doherty and Aunt Louise had adjoining bedrooms.
tells you
there's,
something.
there's a telltale sign.
Yeah.
In Madison, they had adjoining
Uh-huh,
bedrooms.
uh-huh.
So you think
How
there
did
might...
Dad never notice something?
Well,
Now,
you never
now,
learned anything.
Doherty had his own abode in New York or Brooklyn, and I
Right.
never saw it. And I don't know, I don't know if it was in New York or Brooklyn.
I think it was down the street from them. I think he lived in Brooklyn. That's why I thought that
I'm not sure.
that he moved to be
Closer?
closer.
But I don't
He
think
was
he,
all-
I don't think he always lived close to them. I think he had. I don't know. I just always pictured him in New York City.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But,
It was an interesting
well, I'm
arrangement.
just hoping that
Interesting arrangement.
Uncle John always knew and didn't get a rude awakening one day. That's my hope.
Yeah.
Well, he must have known something. They were staying in Madison in the summer.
Yeah, no, I know.
And
I
if-
think he must
Yeah,
have known.
if grandmother
And I
and
don't, well, I don't know, I
Doherty
asked,
had adjoining rooms, that kind of tells you a
I
story
asked
right
Dad
there.
about it once, and he said, well, he thinks they just never talked about it.
You asked your dad this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's, knowing grandmother, I mean, it's possible that you just didn't feel comfortable asking her something
Uh-huh,
like that,
uh-huh.
you know? I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I sure as heck wouldn't have asked her.
Love from Auntie.
These are graduation.
18th birthday.
Oh, 18th birthday. I know, I said it right.
Do you know what Auntie that is?
Yes, my mother's one and only sister, Charlie Matthews Jr.'s mother.
Aileen,
Yeah. Well, my mother she pronounced it Eileen. Anybody else in the world would have pronounced it Eileen. But it was Eileen. And Marie, Charlie Matthews' mother,
I thought
was her sister.
Marie was her sister.
Yeah, my mother's
okay,
sister.
Yeah. There's pictures of Dad at Ginny's graduation.
Oh. I'm not going to see any of the pictures, am I?
Well, we can do it, we have time. Jeff took a picture of them, so.
Okay. Float 9.
Spring events at Wellesley, yeah.
It's a great thing.
Your freshman year on tree day, your class got its class tree. And I know where our class tree is, and it has 1939, and things
That's a nice thing.
down underneath it. And I was in charge of I was the only one or the chairman of the committee that chose the class tree for our class. And I may have been the only one that knew where it was. And I think probably I was the only one that knew where it was. And at the end of this tree day pageant sort of thing, the freshman class takes off for their class tree, and if they don't get there first, they never have a class tree. So I had to lead the run
To the tree.
to the tree.
Your class
Oh,
didn't
yes.
get there.
Fortunately, we got there first. one ear and gone tomorrow. That was the junior class of Wellesley Presents.
Leslie Howard's precious moment.
They had a
Helen
great,
Hayes.
they had, yeah, we had great came to the college,
Wow.
you know, and performed in whatever
Mhm.
their performance was, be it speaking, singing, whatever.
Peter Scott, good party.
Peter Scott was Jack's good friend.
Mm-hmm. The shipwreck ball.
I'm trying to think, I think he was at Harvard. Jack, of course, was at MIT.
This was your report card back here.
Yeah,
Which one?
What'd you do?
pretty good.
B, B, A, B. Wow,
How about that?
very good. A in chemistry, A in German, and A in physics on the.
Wow.
The easy classes.
Oh dear, look at that. Was this something that Wellesley, or was this something
It
from
was Jack, Fran, Mort, and myself.
Mort again. I gotta figure out who Mort is.
Thanksgiving vacation in,
Well, Mort was one of the
New Hampshire?
Westminster Club
I know,
group.
what the
you know.
heck was his last name?
Yeah, I'm not gonna, well, I'll pull out my letters in the bottom drawer of the, in that, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, but boy, you had a lot of letters in there.
Betsy
Yeah.
might, Betsy
And you might not have
remember.
named Mort's
I might not have given his
name.
last name,
Yeah.
that's true, yeah.
Oh, Tech, that would be MIT. No, Tech IFC dance state? Would that be MIT or a different Tech? No, it's definitely MIT.
What tech was that?
And what does this say?
IFC dance?
I wouldn't know what that was.
Your date was Krebs.
Yeah. Yeah, George, it was really funny, when I was in high school, my good friends, girlfriends, June and Johnny Love started going together freshman year, they got married.
Mm-hmm.
Alice and George Krebs started going together. We had Betty Beard, I forget who she went with, but anyway, there were 5 girls and 5 boys that just did everything together all the way through high school. It was just great. And my mother was so impressed, the boys' parents would have us over at their house, that it wasn't just left up to the girls' parents.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it kept us off the street,
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
and we just had a great time
So
together.
you
as
went to
a-
the dance with George Krebs?
Yeah, I mean, see, George,
Oh, that's right, you were saying, because Alice was someplace
Alice
else.
was at KU.
So
She went to Lynn.
trusted you to keep an eye on
Yeah, she did.
George.
She went, and I did. We had a great time. We very much enjoyed each other, but we never had sex.
Good girl.
Yeah.
the taming of the few.
Alice would have been upset.
Yeah.
Here's your exam.
The actual
Economics,
exam.
That's what it looks like. Economics and sociology.
Well, that's the exam, but that's not the answers.
No, no.
Okay.
Mm,
Uh-oh.
Class
See a
supper.
C there.
Yeah. Oh, musical theory. I got all the way through high school. I got M's in music. The M is medium. It's like a C.
medium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I admire you for trying.
Commencement.
My kids all did much better in music. Their father enjoyed music, and he never played, but I think he sang. And they all had piano. I know David studied the trumpet, and David played the trumpet in the band all the way through Princeton. John studied the clarinet. That's
Now, I
it.
can either drag out the books we looked at last night or not.
Well, I don't want to make people go through the.
Well,
Same
Ginny
thing.
doesn't remember, and that'll give me a chance to put these others away.
All right. What are you going to do with
You
this
want
one?
to go through the
I'm gonna
same
get
books
it.
you went through last night, Jimmy?
Well, I thought she said I didn't go through them with her.
No, she says that you won't remember them.
Oh, that's.
So you won't mind doing it again?
I might surprise her.
She thinks she might remember, Mayor.
Well,
Maybe you guys should look, well, you don't want to look through
Here, why don't, no, here, where are you going?
I'm take off my coat.
I'm gonna put on my sweater. I was gonna put these on your lap, but
Okay. Well, I need to get a little water again.
when do you want your scotch?
I'm ready to
Oh,
try,
not
right?
for about 20 minutes.
You and my dad, right on the clock.
Actually, I mean, 5:30 is when I usually, and that's 40 minutes. No, that's 35 minutes
All
away.
right.
So whatever. What are we doing for supper? Tell me again.
We hadn't made any plans.
Okay.
I guess we'll go someplace,
Yeah.
unless you're tired.
No, I'm not tired. I've been sitting for most of the time. Doing good to walk to the car.
You'll earn your supper by walking to the car.
Yeah. We went up
Well,
to the
is there-
corner. Yes, last night, didn't we?
Last night we were on our own.
What, didn't we go up to the corner?
We went out for lunch yesterday, and last night you did whatever you did, maybe you skipped dinner.
What did you do?
We went to the plaza at the hotel. We talked about going to John's house, but
Yeah.
then John was on call.
Yeah.
So we just didn't see each other last night.
Okay, so I probably had a TV dinner.
Now, there isn't anything else that you wanted to look for?
No, it was the genealogy thing, which I'm just gonna ask David for.
And wasn't there
Alright.
letters?
And the letters they're making copies of.
And I thought
And
there
then
were
there
some
was
letters-
the Wellesley letters, but it's 4 books full of notebook paper.
Yeah, and
Okay,
that's,
that's kind of
yeah,
long.
and that's not of interest to you all anyway.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but we're here at such a limited amount of time.
We haven't been through these before?
Yeah, you and I did, but Nora hasn't seen
Oh,
them.
okay. All right, this is in the backyard of the 63rd Street house that we went by, and this is the first car we owned in the driveway there.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great uncle of mine and my mother's favorite uncle, my brother and me,
Mm-hmm.
on the steps.
Look how cute you look.
Look at me here, isn't that Dora?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys start wearing out, I can go through quick and pull out some of the gems.
You're gonna do what?
If you guys sort of start wearing out, I
Oh.
can probably flip through fairly quickly and find some of the gems, but.
Oh, that you wanna then do something with, like photo?
No,
Just
just wanna
make
make
sure I
sure
see
that
them, I
Nora
think.
sees.
Oh.
That's fine,
Well,
carry
this
on.
is true. I mean, as I say, this is my mother's favorite uncle, and that's our front steps in our 63rd Street house that we drove by, our first car, all that good stuff. This is my mother and father as young married people, and this is my brother and cousin.
Nice hats.
Oh, dear me.
St. Joe, is that, what is that? Is that St. Joe, Michigan?
No,
No,
St.
Missouri.
Joe, Missouri is about 60 miles or less straight north of here.
Oh, okay.
It's basically on the no, it's on the Kansas River.
You maybe didn't notice, but when we drove in from the airport, we saw signs for
For
St.
St. Joe?
Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah,
It says St. Joseph.
It's
but
about
people call
an
it-
hour's drive north of here, straight north.
Oh, yeah, so here's the house we
There's
just saw.
there's the 63rd Street house, right? I'm sure we've been by Brush Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's right along the golf course. Not the Kansas City Country Club golf course. we're talking
So
about.
this is,
That's Dad, and in our driveway, obviously, and that's the house on 63rd, and that's Mother.
mother.
I'm sitting on the porch before it was screened in.
Okay. Here's
Uh,
Grandma
at,
Cracker.
at Madison, Connecticut, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wait a minute, so Madison came from, I'm a little confused now. So going to, so this isn't, that's not your Aunt Louise.
No.
Oh, okay, so that's her visiting
That's Grandma visiting.
Louise and John and Dad.
Exactly,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
For some reason I keep losing the train. House
Dorothy,
on
What
Flora.
is that? That was where my mother's sister and her husband lived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and these are not relations, I mean, they must be next door neighbors of my cousins. That's Dad and me on the 63rd Street house, front steps, and my brother, that's the 63rd Street.
That's
Here's
quite a bicycle he's got.
Yeah,
That
a
must
little
be
bit-
your
little
dad's.
larger than
That
he
must be
is.
your dad's bike.
No. But it was a while before he could ride it probably. This is the house we drove by
it's a
today.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And there was a whole group of schools nearby. And we had a field day in the spring. Now, these are, all right,
Looks
these
like
are
somebody.
Kiger's. I mean, these are, except, here's my
Yeah.
mother, and here's
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Fred Kiger's wife, Lucille. This is Helen,
Mm-hmm.
And this is Stella, and this is Cora.
Cora, okay. Okay,
Oh,
that's good.
Helen, Lucille.
Yeah, oh, I thought you were
Eileen.
reading that, that's good.
No,
You
no,
did
I
that.
recognize them. Okay, my brother and me, and my brother and
so
me, and my
cute.
scooter. My dad on the front step at 63rd.
Mhm.
And I think there were no other, well, here's June Kiger,
Now, she was
Dr.
Was
Fred's daughter.
Dr. Fred's
And this
daughter.
is Mary Bob, Dr. Fred's other daughter.
Mhm.
And that must be I, and that's my brother, and these are our neighbors.
Mhm.
That's Jack
Yeah,
swimming.
so- Oh, yeah, that looks like him.
And that's
Okay.
the Matthews house again.
So it's Charlie Matthews.
That's Charlie Matthews sitting there, yep, on the wall.
Okay.
And we went, the three families, the Elliots, the Matthews, and the Kigers, went down in the Ozarks. And that was a big outing. I mean, that was a really big outing. That's me, Elliot, and me, and that's my brother and the other big boys. And that's the three big boys, my brother, and Jack Elliott, and Charlie Matthews Jr.
Mhm.
And the older folks, and boy, these things fade, don't they?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now that one is just as clear as ever.
Yeah.
This is back in Virginia. We made many trips in the 20s, probably in the late 20s, to Virginia,
Mhm.
and down in the Shenandoah Valley. This is obviously Washington, D.C.
So is this?
This is the house. We had, there was one member of the family who was married to a cousin of my dad's, who was married to a very successful businessman, and this is his house. And then the other house was down in the country on a little creek that went around, three sides around it, so to speak, called Cub Run. And there was outdoor plumbing only. My mother wasn't too thrilled
So
with
is
it.
this we've got a Kiger here? Is that what Kiger is that?
Kiger Almond. I mean, I have several cousins who have Kiger as a
Right.
first name.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Kiger Almond.
Almond.
And
okay.
he lived, trying to think, he lived with a group that was down where there was outdoor plumbing only. Well, that is,
Your mom. Is Eileen?
yeah, okay.
You.
And Ross Jr., yeah. And my dad and me. And this is my, I think that's my mother, and that's my mother's sister and her
right.
husband, and me and Charlie Matthews Jr. standing on the lot where they built their house,
Oh.
which is not too far from here. Near back in Virginia again.
Okay.
And Cora,
Mhm.
dad and mother, Ian Ross.
Mhm.
Probably Kiger Almond standing up
Yeah,
there.
there it says Kiger.
Oh, okay. Virginia cousins. We made a good many trips back there when I was in grade school age.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at all
teaching
of
people.
this.
Oh, this was a huge group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were all related in one way or another.
Mhm. It's too bad my dad didn't keep in touch with them.
I took each of my kids one at a time to Washington, D.C. when they were like 10, 11, 12 years old. And I took a picture of each of them with the anchor of the battleship name.
That's good.
Oh, dear. Again, we're in Virginia.
Mhm.
The jillions and jillions of cousins. I don't know if I got all their names here.
You got a lot
I
written
must
down.
have, yeah. Now this, somebody
This
set
is
up a whole
Virginia.
train thing in the backyard.
That's you.
Looks like it's our backyard.
It says Neil's backyard.
Ah, okay. I didn't think it looked like our backyard. Charlie Matthews Jr. and my brother.
Mhm.
And this is Glenn Deffabaugh, whose mother was a Kiger.
Okay.
And there's Uncle John.
Oh yeah. Oh, wow.
And there's Jack.
Oh, I don't think I've seen any of him around that age.
And this is Jack and Uncle John and Grandma. Kiger.
Okay.
And we're in the house. Do you recognize the house?
Yeah. I recognize
Okay.
the house from
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many of my grandfather younger.
Uh-huh.
What kind of who's
That's
that
a
dad's
dog. But I'm not sure what kind. Just says Jack and Madison, and I don't recognize the dog.
Found some other possibilities.
Goodness gracious.
You want to take a look at them and see if we should.
Well, why don't you finish that one book?
Okay.
I like
Jenny
these
and I
books.
kept getting mixed up yesterday.
Charlie Matthews Jr. and his grandpa and my grandpa.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gosh, here's when he was a little kid.
Mhm.
Oh, Dorothy Deffabaugh. Dorothy Deffabaugh.
Yeah, and you.
All right, this is the Matthews house we went by today. And my mother's parents.
And here's Aunt Louise
It is
Kiker
indeed, it is indeed.
with the same dog. That must be the same trip. That's the same dog Dad was in that last photo.
Uh-huh.
Do you recognize that dog, Nora?
No, that's what I was wondering.
No.
I asked for that dog one.
Well, these are all local things, local people. Matthews house again.
Charlie's looking like he's having fun.
Yeah, yeah. This,
Look at your outfit.
yeah, how about that?
That's
Pretty fancy. When I was born, we lived in a little small house over, I don't think I've driven by it in a long, long time, it's not too far away. But anyway, this was the next door neighbor in that house that we lived in before we moved into the 63rd Street one. Now this is, who is this? Charlie Matthews Jr., Ross Jr., and
Grandpa Rathburn.
Grandpa Rathburn. Gee, I mean, I didn't know him when he was that young.
Yeah.
And my brother and me on the 63rd Street house. And there's that Charlie. Well, that's Jack Elliott, who was a good friend. That's probably Charlie.
It
Yeah.
says Bob.
Beachy.
and Bob Beachy.
Yeah, my brother in that one. No Kigers in that one. Every spring, all of the grade schools in the nearby area.
Photo. It's really neat.
Yeah, we had a field day. They called it a field day.
Right.
And all,
Very lot of track stuff.
when I was in kindergarten, they had a oh dear, what did you call those things that you sat on and just had a handlebar?
And you bounced on them?
No, not at all. You sat on the darn thing. You just pedaled it. It had no pedals, so you just use your feet. I mean, you said it was like it was low to the ground.
Right.
Wood seat. The whole thing was wood. The whole thing was wood.
But
Anyway,
It had no. Ooh.
whose car is that?
I think that's probably our rental car.
Oh, okay, but I heard a door shut.
Yeah, no, well, Bill and Jeff. Is it white? Yeah, Bill and Jeff went and took the letters
Oh, okay.
to
Okay.
get Xerox. They must
Oh,
be
okay.
back.
Okay.
That is a really cool photo.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was in kindergarten and was running this thing, somebody said, "Run, Ginny, run!" And I stopped and looked at them. I did not win. That's the Matthews house again, my brother and me. Oh boy, that was a great car.
Yeah.
It was
that's
red.
cool.
Needless to say, it was red.
Arlington
Okay, we go
Cemetery.
off to Virginia.
That's- yeah,
Go
we're
to Washington, D.C.
Hi, kids.
How'd you do?
Well, I think, we got lost, which was pretty much my fault.
Nah,
And,
we
but
both had a
then
hand
we,
in it.
Jeff got us back on track and we made 3 copies.
Excellent.
Good. Excellent. Mission accomplished. I took each of my kids one at a time to Washington, D.C. And which was a good thing I did because they had quite different interests, as it turned out.
Pretty good 4 minutes left on it.
Jeff, I have some pictures for you to take
Again,
shots of.
battleship name.
Well, yeah. I took a picture of each of my kids with the anchor of the battleship.
Yeah, I saw one earlier.
Whatever. That looks like Niagara Falls.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
recognize that.
Yeah.
More Niagara Falls. Maid of the Mist, we just went on that last fall, last spring.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Madison.
We're at Madison. Here's
Now
your
that looks
dad.
more of a dog like I know, because that's
Speaking of
a,
which, I'll use some money for
that's a shepherd.
copy.
Yeah.
We missed
How
those.
about that?
Oh, are these all
ready
you?
Yeah.
These are great. They're great.
Yeah,
you got
it's a
lunch.
Tam
Tam
O'Shanter. Sorry.
There's my brother, and then not our dog. We never had a dog. My mother wouldn't have a dog. It was the next door neighbor's dog. But he lived at our house. And she fed him all the time. Yeah. Well, that was a good house.
So look, this is
Virginia at Madison. Look at Virginia.
costume.
2/3 of the way out of the water.
Yeah.
John Matthews Jr. and me and my brother.
And Charlie is around the photos a lot. isn't he?
Yep. You can see why I was upset when they pledged different fraternities.
Oh my gosh. You never heard such sobbing in your life. Dear. Boy, were they glad to be separated. Yeah, these are, now here's Grandma Kiger.
And what was she like, do you remember?
Oh, Lord, yes. She lived to be quite an old lady. Because, well, she was absolutely remarkable. I mean, she was, you
I
know,
was wondering if she was the ones in the picture, Nora. I always assumed it was Grandmother Kiger's
Oh,
mom, but maybe
no, it
was...
is. Yeah, the stuff we found, and a lot of the stuff was her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was her
What was
name again?
Mary, I'm sure it was,
Or Mary Ellen or something?
I'm sure it was Mary. And people her age called her Molly.
Okay, Molly Shaw.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was absolutely great. She was an
ahead.
amazing woman.
How was she amazing?
Well, maybe
Well, she raised 8 kids without a lot of help from her husband. And,
Yeah, he was a pediatrician.
yeah, and did a darn
He
good job
was writing the
with it.
book and she was doing it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, don't say another word, Jeff has to change the tape.
okay.
This is some weather we've been having, Jenny.
Oh, you don't get it like this every year.
Doing docudramas?